What's up, guys? All right, back in the Camry. Haven't done a video on the Camry in a while, but I just had some service work done to it, and I wanted to let you guys know about what it costs to have some of this stuff done. So since I bought this car, there was like a little pop in it, I guess you could say. Like you'd hit a little bump or something, it would pop. It wasn't too bad, but you could feel it in the steering wheel. And I had one of my buddies check it out because I couldn't find it. I put brakes on this car a while back, and I just didn't see it. I pulled on everything and he got up underneath it, and finally he found an inner tie rod that was a little bit loose. It needed to be replaced. So I bought the tie rod. I think the tie rod, it wasn't too bad. It was like under $40. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was under. So I bought the part, and I took it to my local tire store because this car had Michelin tires on it, which are great tires. But the people I got the car off of apparently didn't know what an alignment was, and they wore out the outside edges, and the middles and stuff still had pretty good tread. Now, I've had this car aligned twice now, because when you put a tie rod on, you have to have it aligned. And I took it to the Toyota dealership the first time to have it aligned, and well, apparently they didn't see the tie rod. Most time when you take something to have it aligned, they'll catch something like that, but Toyota didn't. So I had to have it aligned again this time. But those tires, they kind of needed to be replaced because of the outside edge. Even though the middles were still good, I may take this car on a trip here in a couple months, to a golf trip. So I thought I'm gonna go ahead and put some tires on it. I got Falcon ST 180 ASs, the all seasons. So far, now I've not driven this car very far since I picked it up, but so far, it feels pretty smooth. It's pretty quiet overall. It's quieter than the Michelins were, but that's probably because they were, about worn out on the edges. But it's pretty smooth, and I have to say the tie rod seemed to have fixed this. I don't have any popping or any noises. That must have been the issue on that, and that's totally eliminated. My buddy said he thought that was the only issue, but I went in and had him check it out too, like the other tie rods and stuff, while it was in the air, and they didn't find anything else, and I feel nothing in the steering wheel or hear anything. It's really quiet right now. But the reason I went with the Falcons, they had some off-brand tire that they said was a pretty good tire, and I looked at the Falcons, I looked at it, and that tire was about Black Hawk or something. I can't remember what name it was. It was off-brand. It was about $150, $180 cheaper a set than these were. And I just like the tread on the Falcons better, and they were like a 70,000 mile tire, and I've always heard good stuff about Falcon. So I just went ahead and went with the Falcons. So I'll show you the tire here in just a minute. Of course, I'm driving now, I can't, but I'll show you the tire here at the end and kind of go over why I liked it better than the other one, and we'll look at the tread and the sidewall and stuff like that. But so I had the tie rod installed. I had the new tires installed. I also had TPMS sensors installed. I had a TPMS light on the dash. I don't like lights on my dash. The tires were still all full. It was just, it's just been so long. 2007, you're going to have those batteries. They have little batteries in them, and they eventually die. And they say you can replace the batteries, but I'm not going to do that because you got to take the thing apart, and plus you have to get the tire off the rim to do it. So I just had those replaced as well, and I think that was like $180 some for all four. If you're going to do one and you've got an issue with one, you might as well just replace all four just to be safe, because if one or two is going dead, the other two or three is going to go dead eventually or shortly after. So I went ahead and had them all replaced, and the grand total for all that was $834.59 with tax. I didn't think that was too bad. 4 tires, alignment, tie rod, 4 new TPMS sensors for under $835. I mean, that's pretty good in my book, and there again, I should be good to go for quite a while with these tires. And so far, I'm really happy with them. I've not got them up to highway speed. I'm fixing to get on the interstate, so I'll get back on here when I get on the interstate, and I can get this up to about 70, 75 mile an hour, and I'll be able to see how smooth they are at speeds like that, at highway speeds. But just on these back roads at like 50, 55 mile an hour, they feel really good. The car feels really stable with them. It actually feels more stable with these than it did the Michelins. So as soon as I get back on the interstate, I'll get back on here and let y'all know how they feel at highway speeds. All right, guys, we're on the interstate, running about 73 right now. It is smooth. I mean, it is really smooth. And just hit that bump back there, didn't hear it. Steering wheel has no vibration in it. Running about, going about 75, there we go. About 75, again, just smooth. Tires are very quiet on the highway. Hear just a little bit of road noise, but they're pretty quiet. I mean, this is a Camry. It's not a Lexus or Mercedes or something that's gonna have crazy quiet interior anyway, but I'm pretty impressed with how quiet they are being new. Now, these tires aren't half wore out or anything. I don't know, how they're going to perform at, at speeds and when they're about half wore out. But right now, I'm very satisfied with these tires. Just gliding along. I really like this Camry. It rides good anyway. The seats are very comfortable, but new tires definitely help it. All right, so I'm going to head on up here, drop off this key. I just want to let you know how they felt. The mannerisms of the tires seem well. Not really jerking me around on the road or anything. The sidewalls seem fine. They don't seem bouncy or anything. So after I get up here and I get back home, we'll kind of go over what the tires look like, what the tread design looks like, and why I chose these over the cheaper ones. So see you in a minute. All right, guys, we made it back home. So let's take a look at these Falcon, I guess they're Sincera, I don't know, ST80 ASs. So one thing I want to tell you, this ain't my favorite sidewall. I mean, it's not horrible. It seems stiff enough. But this is what it looked like. This is, if you go to get a set of these, this is what you're going to expect on the sidewall. You can see they're Falcon. I've heard good things about Falcon, but I've never actually owned a set. This is my first set, and they rode good. But I don't know, anything about long term. I think they had like a 75,000 mile tread wear warranty. Let's take a look at the front and take a look at the tread. Look how deep this tread is. I mean, that is nuts how deep that is. One thing I liked about these better than the cheaper ones I told you about was these big lugs right here on the side. These just look like a better tire overall. And for just $100 and some dollars, $140, $50 more, I decided to go ahead and upgrade to the Falcons. Again, that tread depth is crazy. Now, the size on these, I believe, let's see here, was a 215/60/16, and same size that I guess was on it new. That's the tire, same size of the tire that was on it whenever I bought the vehicle. But again, if the people that owned it for me had it aligned, it would have been okay, because the tires that was on it still had about half tread in the center. But this lug right here on the Michelins was just wore completely down. I've drove these about, I don't know, probably about 100, 150 miles a day. Super quiet, super comfortable, ride good. I'll keep y'all updated on how they work out. All right, guys, there you have it. Local shop did this, around $835. Definitely not disappointed in that. I've drove it, like I said, about 100, 150 miles-ish today. That little TPMS sensor light did not come back on, so all that fixed all that. That was the problem. Again, those things just have little batteries in them, and they go dead over a period of time, and you just have to replace them. So I replaced all four, no issues. Car's working pretty great. I'm curious if you all have ever had any experience with these tires. I'm sure a lot of you all have had experience with Falcon, like the truck tires. I've never owned those either. I did just have a chat with a guy at the at the Lexus dealership, and he actually watches the channel. He used Sparks Parts to order his mirror caps for his truck, oddly enough, small world. But he was fixing to get Wild Peak Falcons for his Tundra. But let me know if you've had any experience with these long-term reviews, or if you like them, don't like them. I've got them now, so I'm keeping them for a while. at least, but I'm curious to know what y'all think about them. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.